Dayton men's tennis had a historic win on Friday, beating VCU for the first time in program history. The Flyers' 4-3 win over the Rams was the first regular season win for an A10 opponent since VCU joined the conference. UD won their 14th straight on Saturday when they topped Richmond 4-2. Dayton now 16-2 on the year. Dayton basketball picked up a road win on Wednesday at Florida Atlantic in the NIT. Javon Bennett had a career-high 30 points on 8 made threes, and the Flyers advanced 86-79 with the victory over the Owls. UD fell Saturday at Chattanooga 87-72. The Flyers' season ends at 23-11. Dayton softball, after falling midweek to Kentucky and Miami, took 2 of 3 from Rhode Island, beating the Rams 9-5 in Game 1 and 8-1 in the final game of the series, thanks to strong pitching by Haven Dwyer. The Flyers are now 14-10, 5-1 in conference. The Flyboys started the week with an extra innings thriller against Ohio as the Flyers beat the Bobcats 10-9 in 12 innings. Rylan Luho hit a 2-run homer in the top of the ninth to extend the game. Freshman had a huge week with 14 hits over 5 games. He's named Freshman of the Week in the Atlantic 10. On the season, he's hitting .417. The Flyers fell Wednesday at Bowling Green and lost the first 2 games in a weekend series against St. Louis, but ended the week on a high note, 6-5 against SLU on Sunday. Congrats to junior golfer Emma Sparling, who recorded her first career top 10, and Dayton finished 6th at the Low Country Intercollegiate at Moss Creek Golf Club in Hilton Head, South Carolina. UD Track and Field started the outdoor season with a bang at Eastern Kentucky and at Miami University in the Blizzard Buster. Casey Bogus won the javelin throw, Cameron Thompson finished first in the high jump, and Jamison Pilifant was victorious in the 400-meter hurdles at EKU. Marissa Pritchett took the 5,000, and Bryn Hodem grabbed the top spot in the 3,000 at the Blizzard Buster. This week, we look back and smile on a special run to the Elite Eight by women's basketball in 2015. UD Hall of Famer Ali Malott joins Flyers Weekly to talk about that historic trip.
Obviously, it's hard to predict that we would make a run that far, but I definitely knew that we really loved each other and loved playing together. And like you said, we were at least battle tested as far as our schedule had went. But then you get your tournament draw and you look at the teams that are coming up, and you see Kentucky, Louisville, and obviously UConn. And Iowa State even was a really tough first round game for us. So anything can happen. So, but yeah, I mean, we definitely had confidence in ourselves.
Without a doubt, heavy hitters when it came to just the name brand. And Iowa State, you mentioned it, always sort of a strong program in the Cyclones. But you guys controlled that game, a 10-7 matchup, and 78-66 was the final. You had a double-double. You get Kentucky, the 2 seed. Is that the most fun? I mean, you watch that game and it just looks like a lot of fun. 99-94 was it like
no
that
defense being played? Absolutely no defense, which is my kind of game. But yeah, I think, and my memory is so bad, when it comes to remembering specifics that happened during the game. But I just remember being very exhausted afterwards. A lot of up and down. But I think we were just pretty thrilled to come out with a win for sure.
You balled out. You had 28 points, 13 rebounds, and it was kind of a strange game because Andrea Hoover got in foul trouble.
Yeah.
But it seemed like everybody was making shots. And is that contagious as a team when you're you're on, and then I mean, were players feeding off of each other?
I definitely think there's a sense of confidence that you gain from your teammates and just seeing the ball go in general. And obviously we were not used to playing without Andrea on the floor for the whole game. So I think everyone was like, oh, well, we got to kind of step up and somebody else has got to score. And it was a good shooting night for us,
I,
definitely.
I have to ask, and you mentioned that you're not one of like looking back on the game and sort of remembering certain plays, but do you have an idea of what you guys shot from three in that game?
I no, I don't. Like percentage wise, or just like how many threes we made.
You were 11 of 18 from
Oh, okay.
distance
Yeah, that's pretty
and
good.
90% from the foul line. It was just a thrilling game. What was that feeling after the game knowing that you were punching a ticket to the Sweet 16?
I think just a lot of relief. Because like you said before, we had been to the tournament and it felt like we could never kind of get over that hump of the first or second weekend. So I think like we didn't have a lot of pressure, but like for me and Andrea and Tiffany, we were all seniors and we were like, well, this is our last chance to get over the hump and get to the Sweet 16. So it was definitely a lot of relief on my end at least.
This entire interview will be available on Thursday at noon on Spotify, Apple Music, and our YouTube channel at Dayton Flyers. The week starts Wednesday with baseball at home when they face Air Force 3. Softball also in action across the street Wednesday when they take on Butler at 4. The Flyboys kick off a 3-game home series against Davidson Friday at 3 o'clock. Saturday, first pitch at 1, and Sunday, the series ends at noon. Softball heads to the nation's capital this weekend to play 3 against George Washington. Men and women's tennis will both be in Olean, New York to face St. Joe's on Saturday and St. Bonaventure on Sunday. Daniela Peralta will compete Thursday, and Casey Bogus will compete Friday at the Texas Relays in the javelin throw. Saturday, track and field will be at the Pace Setters Sports Invite at Indiana State. For more information on Dayton Athletics, visit DaytonFlyers.com. Follow us on social media at Dayton Flyers.